hospital that's been built this here, it was oil money.
Or hospital.
And in my mind's eye, I can put some value to the oil resource. In the absence of that, I just have abstract ideas of money.
It's a lot of money.
And then, well, so the politicians have chopped it. That's all.
As we continue to find out from where the money really went and all those sort of things, we have an update. All those things can come out. So it will be a continuous thing, and people will be interested to read. Okay, this time he has found out. So what and why? Even if he doesn't finish, it can continue.
Did you quote any experts as to what this money means for us? Yeah, but it's important that they should be drawn here. What does that mean? Yeah.
Like the discussion, like, tell us that maybe, there's a construction of a Pimendi Melubo, the international road. Tell us, or we are taking loan and supporting it with lease. Then you know that, we say that from that kilometers were covered by the money. But nobody is in a position to. And if they left everything for the Ministry of Finance and then the Bank of Ghana, because they will tell you they are actually managing the money, so they just release the money and then it's difficult to tell which particular route that is going to. So it's always difficult.
But beyond that, there's some experts who just tell us something. What does this money mean for the country? Is it low?
In the absence of this, if this money was not there,
what
what would it have meant for the economy?
So that's in the absence of getting the actual usage, that could help if you're fine. You look at the issue of our law. Also, this money is supposed to be going to various places. Did that happen? What went into establishment fund? So that's something you can also. Okay. Any more comments? Okay, thanks very much for sharing. So please do email us the story, right? Emily, your neighbor, just for this, so let me get yours. It's a media or MBA?
Media.
That's it, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, the story I emailed to the email address provided was a story I did from our trip to Tanzania.
That's what you want us to review, right?
No,
okay, so yeah.
The story I did on the headline was EPA closes down mining company.
EPA closes down
Mining company.
What type of story is this?
It's a news story on how the EPA cracked the whip and down and closed down a mining company for violating some of the rules and.
The EPA was actually doing its work.
Yes.
Okay.
This story was from a visit. They had gone there to carry out an assessment.
No, your visit or their visit?
Their visit. I went with them.
So you are on that visit?
Yes,
okay, sorry. So it's a field visit.
Yes.
So you have the field visits. So it's a personal experience. Yeah.
They had gone there to carry out an assessment, and then it was found out that the company had violated a lot of their permits had not been renewed. They were their practices, some of the things they were doing there, instead of when they removed the topsoil, they had to put it somewhere to replenish the land. They didn't do that. They had blocked the Ayensu River, so there were a lot of things that the company were doing which were not right. And so the sources were the EPA.
Yeah, before you get onto the sources, two questions. Was this a periodic visit by EPA, which is like timetabled?
Yes, they
do
that.
On that trip, did they visit a number of companies?
They did not on that same day had
Yeah.
visited a number of companies.
In
And
the
so
past.
this was one of the companies that
So they
we
had a
were
list of,
supposed-
okay.
Yes.
So also, at the time we wrote this story, was another company shut down, apart from this one?
No,
So that was the only company
that was the
first
only company.
No.
Okay, when I'm done with it, I would
Okay.
tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And can I just
I
ask-
think that
Let's,
I wanted to find out whether it was there some small unknown company somewhere, or is a big company that has a lot of muscle. And I'm asking because we tend to focus on the small guys, even though they may be
is it
committed
topical or
very-
what?
even though they commit very minor infractions,
Yeah.
and then we leave the big guys who do, they violate the laws in unimaginable ways, but
Yeah.
because they are big and they can lobby, they have money, they can bribe and pay, including the journalists, we never touch them.
Okay. So that's some issue you have to look at here.
It's the reason I'm asking whether it's a big company or some little.
okay, at the time of the visit, the company had changed hands 3 times. The first company that took the initial permit from the EPA was the RWI Goldfields Ghana Limited, and then it changed hands to Romex Mining Ghana Limited, and then finally a financial institution in Canada which had given Romex money,
Loan.
and they had failed to honor their loan, took over. So the company that was there at the time that it was closed down was not actually a mining company, but it was a financial company that now saw that, okay, because we needed to recoup our money, we wanted to take over the mining.
What were they mining?
Gold.
Okay. And the size is what, medium, small scale?
It's a small scale mining company.
Okay, that answers my question.
And how long had they taken over? How long had it been after they took over?
It had just been 3 months that the company, but the permit had been given to the company 4 years ago. So yeah, we visited the place, but from what Malik just said, I saw that it was just the EPA guys who wanted to close down the place to tell the public that they were doing something, and also
Doing this work there.
but they weren't really doing their work, and also it was just to I think that.
So did you say that in the story?
I didn't, because but yeah,
Or
that's
get
why
someone
I
to
said
say
I have
that.
something
Or to get an expert to say it on your behalf?
I tried to get the mining manager,
Yeah.
they called him a mining operation manager, to say that, but he wouldn't say it. And then afterwards he said that he would say it out off record. Then I told him I didn't need it. I wanted him to say it on record.
But was there an independent consultant or expert that could have said that also, if it was the case?
I'm sure I could have gotten this civil society and all that. Yeah, but Wakam would not talk. I called Mr. Cranting and the wife, and they said that they didn't have any knowledge, so they can't say.
So, yeah. No, they are not close to
Yes,
that.
yes. And
So the sources is EPA,
the
of course.
EPA officials.
So did you, the company side, was it in?
Yes, I spoke to the company.
Their side was in the story, right?
Yes, their
Okay.
side was in the story, and then I spoke to the community. It wasn't a residential, but there were people who come there to work. So I got some of the workers.
Which area? Say a brief, but I don't think it's anywhere in a brief.
No, it's in the Upper Dentra district.
Okay.
Can I take us back a little?
Yeah.
When the guy told you off record that they were just using them as scapegoats, did you confront the EPA guys with that information? Because you then were informed and you knew, your own instincts tell you that, look, these guys, they're not doing anything. They are just taking these guys, using them as scapegoats. Did you confront them? Because it can't be that it is only this company that is violating the EPA law.
Yes.
So why is it that it was only this one?
Because I had been with them to some other companies. I've seen some companies who were doing worse things, but they were not closed down.
Was that in the story? You're killing
So I confronted them.
No.
So yes.
It was not her fault.
No, I'm not saying it for them.
If you went and say that thing,
There
then
is
you.
a feature article you can know what improve everything, but
When it's
That's a
a straight
story.
news story, sometimes
To be
the
straight.
editors help.
yes, it should be straight.
But I
That's a
confronted
story.
the EPA guys and even
No,
the-
you see, we're discussing that particular situation, the issue about was this company alone being victimized or otherwise. So that's the point we're stressing rather than here. In the absence of the company saying that, how else can you throw that in? So that's what we're discussing.
Yeah.
So that which we can still do in the news piece because you're putting that out there. Was national involved? Was this a national visit or it was this Ashanti region or Western?
It's the central region.
Yeah. So was national involved as
Yeah,
EP?
yes, the EPA mining director. We were from Accra. And
So it's
then
Accra to
the
the regional
team,
listen. Okay.
and then-
Okay. So national was involved. So it's both regional and national. Okay. So the community, what did they have to say? Were they happy that okay, now this thorn in their heart, flesh is gone?
There was a mixed situation. There were some of them who were happy that because the company had polluted their water, that blocked the main iron
Yeah.
So some of them were happy that.
So that would be the impact if any year.
Yes. But and then there were others who, because they had been employed by the company, saw that they were going to lose their income. So they were not happy with it. And then they were saying that the EPA could have had a negotiation or some talk with them so that this could be resolved.
So what did you say about the law?
About the
Law, the legal aspect of
the
this.
legal aspect was that because their permits, they had been given permits and they hadn't renewed it. But I asked the EPA if there was anything like a follow-up or how did they communicate with them, and it looks like they had been waiting for the company to come, and so since the company did not come to them.
Since this guy presented himself in results. No, I'm asking about what does the law say about what EPA can do in terms of shutting down or not shutting down? So did you quote that aspect of the law?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
because
And what does it say?
It says that if a company fails to renew its permits, it is assumed that they decided not to operate any longer. But since they were still operating,
Then they can.
have to.
So again, what are the steps to get your operation back? Is a shutdown for a certain number of days? What
Yes,
are the law saying?
Their permit was withdrawn indefinitely.
Okay, so
Yeah.
that's a year. Okay.
But the EPA deputy mine director, whom I spoke to, said that they are asking the company to come to them with a work plan
About
and then
how to-
also hold discussion to see how it could work things out.
So
I
the-
followed up to find out if that work plan and the time for having that was they were able to fulfill that. But
Yeah.
the company
Just decide to go.
but I spoke to the mine, the company, and they said that they have not decided to go, but because it was an international thing, it was taking them a bit longer than the
To react.
EPA. Yes.
Okay, so another question is that within the larger context, was this this is 2013 story, right?
Yes, it
In
was
2013, how many mines were closed, if any, apart from this one?
Just that.
So this,
Yes,
so that
and
makes it quite
because of
interesting.
that, they were not included in the ACOBEN rating. You know, the
Yeah,
EPA has
yeah,
this
yeah,
ACOBEN
very
rating, and
Yeah.
this company should have been one of them,
Yeah.
but they were not. So they were the only company that was left out. So when it came to that.
Any more comment, suggestion about sources, maybe? Do you think that it caused a major movement in the industry so people are not sitting up so that they not become this?
Not at all, it
Yeah,
didn't.
so
It
so
didn't. Not at
again
all.
impact here.
Because the other guys know that they won't come after them.
Yes.
No.
Okay, interesting story. Thanks for sharing. Any questions, comments?
No,
Does the law allow him to do that?
I don't know.
Yeah, you have to
because
find.
we have an issue with
Or the regulations for that matter.
Yes. Let me give an example with the Jubilee Partnership. One of their biggest challenge has to do with waste, hazardous and non-hazardous. And what they do is that if they go, they do unannounced visits to the facilities that manage their waste. They will just call you in the morning on their way to your premises. You want to see exactly what you are doing. So a minister, from every minister, if there is a reshuffle today and the minister is changed, you would like to visit all the mines and go and see them. The regional minister will visit, the sector minister will visit, and then in the company, and then they present a beautiful story to you. So to me, it has to do with the laws. What are the real issues that the companies, if you look at the reports that the EPA comes out with, most of them actually score 0. Instead of applying these rules, you go and visit them. They set a nice environment, you speak, you assure them, you give them...
No, sorry, what's the purpose or the nature of the visit?
The visit, familiarization.
Okay, then that, I don't think there'll be any regulation or law about it.
No,
unless it's regulatory visit.
Yes, they have never gone on a regulatory
visit. Okay, yeah, so that's something we can do.
You're not supposed to go on a regulatory
visit.
Yeah, what I'm trying to say.
So you don't expect anything more than a showcase.
Yes, if they do, if getting to know that he goes in the company of EPA, and most of the time the interaction between the minister and then those at the EPA and those, you realize that the minister has no idea what goes on. So after familiarization, he should be able to come back and question some of the things that they do there.
Well, you're talking about a bigger issue which is linked to this. Just before then, sorry. Local government, what was their take? Did you talk to anybody there?
No.
Are they involved in any way?
No.
It would be interesting to also ask. Yeah, Malik.
Oh, I mean, I just wanted to, just a small point that the minister is supposed to go and talk to the people, the local people, the community people, and not the mining. If at all, the best thing to do is to talk to the people before you go and talk to the miners. But if you go and bypass the people and go and see the miners, the motivation is something else, and we all know what it is, even though we don't want to mention
exactly.
it. So
no, but it's a fact of life that look, we have to put the visit in context. Is it regulatory visit or some form of requirement, legal or otherwise, or just like I become a new minister, I do those visits to see where maybe I can chop money from you. So I need to familiarize myself with but there's nothing you can do about it because that's the reality of the
No, but how can you visit maybe a community, a mining area, and you just go straight to the mining company, visit them, have discussion, have lunch, and then nicely they will see you off. Then you just drive through the community with the motor without stopping.
Yeah, that's what we are. That's what we are preaching. That when you go out on the field, let's talk to everybody. Also, so also, I was going to ask also about the MP.
Ghana must be proactive in dealing with boundary dispute with agriculture.
Hungry. With agriculture. What type of story?
It's a new story. It came
Nobody's
out
giving news.
It came out of an interview with Mr. Ernest Kofi Abuchi, law lecturer, Gimpa here. And the story.
So we have an expert interview, right?
Yeah, it was an expert interview.
What expertise does he have though? Expert interview.
I mean, this will turn on law. It's going to be, there will be litigation, and it's going to be marine law, and he has a lot of knowledge in that area, marine law. So I felt that he was the best person to speak to. And
Yeah, just on that also, we should be very careful about who is an expert or who is not. The fact that I've been screaming about gender does not make me gender expert. Or not. Yeah. So it's also important that sometimes let's qualify what we mean by the expert. Being a lawyer does not make you an expert in marine law unless you have done work in marine law. You've written about race, you've done cases for other countries and all that. And also it's important when you're defining that expert, you shred that fact. So Moses is an expert in oil and gas, where in Takrady, Western region is there. Okay. That's here because of the geographical location of him. So he lives and works there. Rather than me sitting in Accra, I've done a lot of long stuff about it. I know Takrady. I don't know the corners. So when we talk about expert and all that, let's also bear that in mind.
yeah, so so the story was about the C100 area in between Ghana and Ivory Coast on the.
What's C1?
Yeah.
What's that?
That's how they call it. That's that space. This is not constitutional instrument. It's not constitutional instrument. It's not a CI.
No, it says C1, right?
It's CI 100.
The C1, the CI. Sorry, I thought this is the head one.
Yeah, it's CI 100.
But it should mean something. The CI should mean something.
Yes, sir. It's supposed to have a meaning.
Yeah.
And also, when you use such a word, you must explain
And define it.
to the reader.
Yeah.
You can't just put as
100 here and go.
okay. Let me to know.
I think he's jumping the gun.
Okay.
You should jump the gun.
No, it's fine, it's fine. Okay.
C100 is the name of a geographical location on the high seas that is a subject matter of a boundary dispute between Ghana and Ivory
Who
Coast.
defined the CI 100?
Is the how do you call them? Those who draw the maps.
No, you see, that's what you have to. That's the point it's making.
That's how
You
they
have
call
to-
the place.
But you have to.
Is it continental shelf?
Is it something to do with like international maritime borders? And such places are given certain names? Is the name linked to the dispute or that's the name of the area? I think it's important to figure out what it means here.
That's a better explanation. I said.
No, I'm just stressing this point, bro. Okay, go ahead, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so, and he made arguments that it appears Ghana since 2010, and I gave a background to the claim that Ivory Coast made. The first time Ivory Coast actually made a claim was in 2010. And then afterwards, government said we had set up a committee to negotiate with them. And then Ghana went to bed. And then the Ivorians have been doing things to strengthen the arguments, including the redrawing of the map. And actually produced the original map on the basis of which Ghana assumed that part and the oil the oil resources that have been discovered there belong to Ghana. But the Ivorians redrew the map. That then puts those areas under their control.
How did they do the map? How did they redo the map?
Because I produced two maps. The one that Ghana relied on, and then the one that they are now using, the Ivorians are now using. If you look at the one...
don't understand that, but who drew the map? What's the process of drawing such a map?
The one we relied on, from when I spoke to Inu Safusedi, the minister, he said that was done by the colonial masters. So that was already there. Now, in order to enhance their argument, the Ivorians have redrawn the map, because when the colonial masters did it, the drawing was such that the lines slanted that way. So they have straightened them, and straightening them means the areas in contention will fall.
No, I understand that, but how did they do that? How did they do that? You don't wake up one day and draw the map, so you should bring that how it's done. You understand? Just like this is my house, are you okay? This is the gate, so this is the wall. And tomorrow I'll push this.
My story actually said that they contracted people to do that. The Ivorians contracted people to do the maps. And Yunus Afseni argued that, well, what is known, and he actually quoted a law. I'm not sure I remember it now. He quoted a law that Ghana is going to use for his argument, and say that the law says what was done by the colonial masters is done, and it cannot be changed insofar as demarcations and boundaries are concerned. Therefore, we have a better argument. So I spoke to him.
Okay, I'm stressing this, but I still, as a reader or a listener or whatever, I will still be interested to know how is the map drawing done. Done in terms of the legal and this thing, because I know this, you just don't wake up. It's not even like a plot. Don't wake up one day and just do it. Don't trust somebody. So it's important to find out, did they follow the steps in going through those demarcations or demarcation, right? Yeah, because there should be some international standard or some UN convention.
But it depends if he really provide all. Haruna was able to say that there was evidence that they redrew the map.
No, that's what he's saying. It's not Haruna. He's saying that's what he's already saying.
No, he said he spoke to Inusa. He said he spoke to Inusa. So if Inusa could have provided evidence of the Ivorians redrawing the map, that would have been
okay. Let's backtrack. Who is the source of the redrawing the map issue?
The redrawn maps are, I mean, in an earlier unrelated somewhere, I made the point that the Ivorians, backed by Total and other big French oil companies, they have consulted people, big law firms in the US and elsewhere, and they are producing these maps to use for their arguments. And in my interview with Yunus Afseni, in our interview with him, he said that the original map, what was done by the colonial masters, is what Ghana is relying on. But he has seen those other maps that he didn't know. We were putting to him that in fact the Ivorians are doing better in terms of staking a claim for this area than we are, because this is what they have done. This has come to our knowledge that they have redesigned, they have redrafted the map of the place. And he said that yes, he has seen some maps. He has seen some maps that have been done by the Ivorians, but what is recognized by the law is what the colonial masters did and left.
Yeah, but you see, you are not just quoting the law. So what I'm just saying is that we need to set within the context about how are those maps drawn. Because he's making the point that it's cast in stone, pre-independence. That's the map that you use. If somebody wants to change the parameters, he needs to follow certain process. And maybe the Ivorians have followed, have not followed. So it's important in the story that's how do you call it? The process of the map creation is important. And as Fred said, maybe you go online, you can find out how are maps redrawn, especially national boundaries. So that's something long said. So your sources?
Yeah, experts.
No, you have to give me the expert.
Oh, Kofi Abuchi.
Okay, so that's a legal expert, right?
Legal expert. And then
the minister, right?
The minister.
And who again? No. First, give me the sources you use in this story before we can.
Yeah, so the minister. And then I spoke to Charles Rekububi.
What's the basis?
The basis is he tends to be interested in governments, the head of policy monitoring and evaluation, Dr. Tony Edu.
What is also his stake? No, but what's his stake?
His stake.
No. Why did you interview? Why is he a source?
International law.
Because he's in charge of policy, and I thought that he actually argued that government should not fight the Ivorians, government should settle.
It's
Others
interesting.
should share.
He's also an international law expert.
No. This is a guy who read a story, so I want to find out why. Okay, there was one important source which is missing. Who can help me with that? The Ivorians is there also. I cannot the Ivorian, but it's a very important source.
The International Maritime Organization.
Of the International Maritime Organization. But no, there's a very important source. You have been discussing this one. Emily, help me out. It's on the board. It's a 3-letter word.
Those who develop the map.
Yes, we need a word. How do you call them? They don't call them development map. They will be annoyed. The Department of Geography here too. No, not geology. Geology is about this. Is it cartographics or whatever? Some, yeah. Yeah, we need them. Yeah. We need somebody who is interested in maps, know the geography and all that. We need, let's find out about the geography.
You need a navy.
Pardon? You need the navy, yeah. But for new species, it becomes more difficult, but these are ideas. And who again? You have the government side, you have that. You also haven't talked to a company, which is difficult, but what are the companies saying? Do they feel that their investment is under threat or otherwise? I think he has commented about that. We will say there's no dispute, but you have to find it. And draw out some of the comparison about what way to go if they're going to settle this issue. This is a pre-independence one. But it's a story which is going to be around for a long time to come. So, the worst case that will do is that when you call Moses, you say, I'm at war. It's fighting. the army will just, they'll conscript him. So that's the worst case here.
But if you ever visit the district field, you realize that they are almost within. If they are operating in the night, you can see the light of the Ivorian Reef.
Yeah.
And outside.
No, they are
actually, the current 2 billion barrels is actually located and is here. They are here. So the issue is drawing from this well is a problem. So who can draw more faster?
In fact, I have heard from reliable sources that it was the reason why Kufuor insisted that they should disregard the production date and all of that and shorten the production date, because he was aware, he had been told that if Ivory Coast came out of their internal disagreements and they were looking for resources, they would make a claim for the oil. So he said that, okay, let's make hay while the sun shines. While these people are still fighting their internal issues, let's take as much as we can. And so go for it. Let's not wait, let's say 7 years. By that time, they would have come.
No. Let's.
Yeah, that can be a rumor, but that's why.
But the point is that I've stated that if you look at the Jubilee location, it's not the same as where the 10 project is now. Jubilee has no dispute. Jubilee is safe in Ghana's waters. Where the 10 project is now is the point of contention.
Okay, so let's foot of what up. But one of the solutions, we discussed this before, as I mentioned, was that you can have what they call, which is a commercial solution, joint production. Okay. In the same way, Jubilee Field now is a joint production between different companies. GMPC, Cosmos, Talo, and all that. So that's another solution.
That's what Tony said you should do.
Yeah.
Then you should do joint.
Yeah. So that's one solution, but this is a commercial solution. There's a legal solution, there's a political solution. Especially if the army feel that they have not fought a war in a long time, they want to fight, that becomes the military solution. you have to go and show our new speedboat. Once they don't run out of fuel, though.
On all that we are discussing, this page says EPA, this one says they redraw the map, and it's all about the resources. So as the only radio man, it was a program I instituted for 3 months. It was weekly.
No,
But
no,
each
don't,
week-
don't go too far. I need a story. So is this an episode? I just want one episode of your production. So that's what I want.
You didn't do a story.
The episode maybe I could pick the.
And so
several
pick one
episodes.
episode.
Several
Yeah.
episodes. The episode I could pick was
So is a radio what?
Guruni. GU.
No. Radio what? Is it a talk show? Or will you classify this?
You know,
A discussion or?
it was a series program.
No,
Yeah,
the
no.
title.
Okay, what Ghana can learn from Tanzania? Small scale mining industry.
Okay. So that's why. So you gave me the title should be how Ghana. What's Ghana can learn? Yeah.